Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Time for that second cup of coffee. It's 2:30 p.m. Central European time, but that means it's what, 8:35 East Coast time. So maybe some of you all are just waking up. Want to talk to you today about Charlie Rose, how he got busted. Wait till we get a few people over here, a few more people get online. Down, down. Look at that, medium coffee, boom. Let that fire up. Anyhow, I wanted to real quickly talk about Charlie Rose. He just found out that he got busted, that 8 women have come out and said that he's sexually assaulted them, calling him a sexual predator. And I am really stunned. I'm really stunned actually, because I came upon Charlie Rose in the late 80s. I was working a night shift from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Central Standard Time, and 2 days on, 2 days off. It was a good job at the time. I was still in school, but anyway, around midnight I would have, it'd be no calls coming in, so I would go to the break room and turn on the TV, or the TV was on, and Charlie Rose was on, and I never heard of this guy, and I just sat down one day and started listening to him. Probably like the second day that I saw him. The first day I was like, talks show, I don't want to see that. But I think the second day that I went into the break room, I decided, let me listen to this guy, let me give it a chance, right? And it was really interesting. Hey Magda, how are you? Yeah, it was really interesting, his show. And I gotta tell you that, for those that don't know Charlie Rose, he had this show on PBS, and he continues to still have it, I believe. It was weekly, and he would have really interesting guests on. Just the set was a black background, or a black curtain. They sat, around a hardwood round table, and they just spoke like adults at the table. And it wasn't boring. It was because Charlie Rose had this, he still has this knack for asking these awesome open-ended questions. And he'd set them up sometimes. Sometimes it'd take like 20 seconds to set up the question. He would talk about something, and then he'd say, how did it feel when such and such happened, right? Or how did you come to the conclusion about XYZ, right? And then the person, it's open-ended, right? So it's not a yes or no answer. It gives the respondent a chance to really talk about what they want to talk about, right? And it was a really interesting show, and it still is. For the most part, most of the guests were really interesting, at least to me. Whether it be politics or business executives, or movie moguls or movie stars, or technology people. I mean, it was pretty interesting. It was a really interesting show. So that was, wow, so what is it, 30 years ago? 30 years ago? Shit, man. That was a long time ago. But since then, he's had a lot of success in the business, because he started working for CBS 60 Minutes, and then CBS the morning show, or something like that, the morning show on CBS. Sorry about that, got interrupted by a phone call. Yeah, he was on the morning show with CBS, and anyways, so 10 years ago, these allegations are coming from 10 years ago, when Charlie Rose must have been in his early to mid 60s. Because the guy's got to be 70 years old now. He's got to be in his 70s. Yeah, 80, 90, 2017, 30 years, 40, 50, 60, 70. He's got to be in his 70s, so he was probably in his 40s back then. Now, how can I have a very bad connection? Yeah. It says I have a very bad connection. Why? How can I have a very bad connection? Anyhow, I'll just hopefully It'll clear up. The only bad thing about this live stream is I can't show you what's on my phone. But okay, two of the allegations. One of them said 10 years ago, Charlie Rose tried to put his hand down her pants. That is just absurd. I mean, I've never done that. Well, okay, I'll get into that later. And the other one was a woman who quit. She quit working with Charlie Rose, and he offered her a job to come back, and said that part of the package would be he would let her stay in one of his houses or apartments or whatever. And she said, of course not. She did not accept that offer because she would not want to live in any place where he had a key to. And the fact that she quit the job was to try to get away from him. So that is really astonishing that these two women were so appalled by his behavior that they would want to just get away from him that badly. So yeah, that's really weird, and it sounds like it was he had a power position over them, you know, as a boss, or yeah, he must have been a boss, or you know, he's a senior guy. You don't see these women on TV, whoever they were accusing him. Now look, if we assume that these allegations are correct, is it better now? How about now? Because I don't have any warnings now. It still says I'm live. Anyhow, okay, I'll just continue. So, yeah, the allegations of sexual harassment, and they call him a sexual predator. I mean, I can understand sexual harassment, like if you crack a sexist joke, or if you crack a you know, like a sexual innuendo, or like you coming on to somebody and it's not accepted, or it's not taken the right way, or it's, you know, it's a what do you call it? Not invited sexual advance, whatever. Like, look, it happens sometimes. It happens sometimes. You have to ask a girl out in order to get rejected, right? You don't know if someone is going to be interested in you unless you ask, right? You got to make a move, right? So it may ruffle some people's feathers, but that's too bad. In some respects, look, ladies, look, if somebody's hitting on you, you just have to say, I'm not interested, thank you, I'm flattered, but I have a boyfriend. Even if you don't have a boyfriend, that usually works, so come on, you know? Anyway, but definitely if someone's putting his hand down your pants, that is messed up, man. Yeah, so somebody's saying that he did Charlie Rose did an interview with Putin and he didn't seem like a bad guy. I'm just saying, like, back in that late 80s, he didn't seem to be left or right. He seemed to be just sticking to the issues that they're discussing. Of course, it was a little bit different political time. I mean, of course, later on, we did have the Bill Clinton stuff. Yeah, we had Bill Clinton was in the 80s, 90? No, whatever. Even during the Clinton administration, he personally didn't seem to come across very, very political, right? He just seemed to be, as an interviewer, he would kind of go left, go right, but he was pretty much in the center in terms of questioning, and he didn't really seem to have a bias. That I could tell. Maybe I wasn't aware of it at the time. But anyhow, I was just thinking, because of all these allegations coming out, like, are they going to come out for me? Would somebody come out for me? You know? Oh, okay, there's another one saying that Charlie Rose was parading naked in front of some coworker. Now that's just insane. I would never do that. I mean, obviously it's different if you're at the beach and he's naked. There might be a reason for that. But if he's just walking around the house where he invited somebody over, or an office, come on. You know, I would say even in the dressing room, there's no reason to be naked in the dressing room, right? You're going to have at least your underwear on, maybe your pants, maybe you're switching shirts, because the camera's only from the neck up, from the waist up, right? And anyway. So I was just thinking about myself, and guys, maybe you have to think about possible sexual allegations coming out. There's sexual harassment allegations may be coming out. There's two things I want to talk about. First, I want to talk about my sexual predator behavior, quote unquote, right? And the second thing is where this is going, okay? So the only thing I can think of, there's two things, okay? There was this girl on the airplane. I did touch her, but she didn't seem to mind, okay? She didn't seem to mind, so I don't know who she is. She doesn't know who I am, but maybe she'll see me and file a complaint. But that was over 10 years ago. Look, I'm not laughing because I think it's funny. It was just, I thought I had an opening and I made a move, and it wasn't necessarily reciprocated, but it wasn't blocked. It was just sort of like, do what you want to do. It was really weird, but it happened. I probably wouldn't do that again, unless it was like really had an open invitation. The second thing, which probably could be considered workplace inappropriate behavior. I wouldn't call it harassment, but there was a girl that I was working with, a woman, and we were really friendly, you know, very cordial to each other, a lot of respect for her, and I think she had a lot of respect for me. We were really friendly, and she was pregnant, and I made the joke. All I said was, quote, "Well, since you were already pregnant, like, you know," end quote. And she didn't say anything. She didn't give me a bad look. She didn't bust out crying. But I realized that it was stupid, and I said, "I'm sorry, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. That's bad. That's bad. I'm sorry." I said something, you know, "I'm sorry. I'm just joking," right? And it never went any further than that because, look, it was stupid, but, you know, whatever. I thought I'd try, right? It's stupid. Stupid thing. But where's this going? Okay? Remember the Salem witch trials where everybody was being called a witch, and it just got out of control. Just got out of control, right? I think this is maybe where this may be going. Okay? Now the left have been using sexual stuff against Republicans for forever, and it is so bizarre that at least in the recent past, when any kind of allegations came out about a Republican, they would just resign. They would just quit, right? And I remember there was some congressman, you know, he was Republican, and he like immediately resigned like the next day. Whereas Democrats, they just hang around. They never die. They just never leave. Like Al Franken has at least 2 women, maybe more, that'll come out saying that he did stuff. You know, in the relatively recent history, right now, Roy Moore. I believe the allegations against Roy Moore, they're from 30 or 40 years ago. 30 or 40 years ago. So Roy Moore, is he 70 now? Because he was 35-ish. So plus or minus 40, the guy's in his 70s. So he's harmless now, of course. But the allegations against Roy Moore are more like a guy trying to pick up a girl. And now maybe the age difference, because some of them were like 17, one maybe was 14, and he was like 32, 35. You know, by modern standards, that seems very weird, but, you know, I guess there has been a tradition in the South that that's sort of more acceptable, that an older guy would try to find a younger wife. I mean, it happens. My wife is a lot younger than I am, and it's a good thing. So I have no reasons to worry about that. But yeah, so this is becoming like a witch trial now. But the thing is that the allegations against Roy Moore are now backfiring. And also you can think about the grab him by the P word for Trump. That's what kind of triggered it for the 2016 election. Trump handled it perfectly well. And actually, look, most people who supported Trump or just needed a reason to vote for him were like, look, this happened 10 years prior. In the context of what he said when you're a celebrity, women throw themselves at you and they let you grab them, okay? It's totally different than somebody forcibly putting their hand down your pants, all right? And they're reacting in a negative way, you know, so. But a little to the ladies out there, any ladies watching, listen, if you are, I mean, it's real simple, and I don't know if you maybe were raised without a father, but your daddy should have told you that if a guy says something to you that's inappropriate or makes an advance against you that you're not interested in him, simply say, "Thank you, I'm flattered, but I'm really not interested." Or, "I have a boyfriend." Or, "Thank you, I'm flattered, but I'm actually seeing somebody right now. Thank you," you know? And then he might say, "Oh, well, if you break up, let me know." And you could just say, "Listen, I'm really flattered, but you're not my type." You know, you gotta try to close it down, all right? You can't be like, okay, yeah, maybe, I'll let you know. Don't do that. Just let it go, okay? But I've always said that any politician who has done something sexually inappropriate, such as having an affair or visit a prostitute or whatever, that we, as men, we are biologically driven to do certain things, okay? Now, if you believe in God, if you believe in Christianity, you may believe that you should be good, okay? And you shouldn't do those things, okay? And that helps control your behavior, okay? But if the left wants to kill Christianity, you're also killing all of those things in society that control men's behavior, okay? That's number one. And number two, the politicians who have done something like this need to just say, yeah, I did it. I'm a man. I paid for P, and I paid for the P word, and it was legal where I did it, or whatever. I mean, you don't have to make an excuse for it, but I think that would probably end this witch hunt kind of thing. If someone would come out like a Trump, maybe you are apologizing, I want to be a better man, it's something I said that was foolish, or something I did that was foolish, or listen, I was a young man, I was horny as hell, I had money in my pocket, and I went somewhere and took care of some business. Hang on. My little baby. Hang on, little baby. Hang on. Ah, got you. Got you. Got you. My little baby. That is the cutest little girl, right? Look at that beautiful girl. Oh my God. You are so adorable. 9 months old, and she's feeding herself. I made some pancakes, fluffity pancakes like I did the video on, and she just picked one up. I gave her one, and she picked it up by herself. Chomp, 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 chomp. Little chomps at a time, right? Right, little sweetie pie? All right, my wife doesn't want her on camera, but anyhow, she's so adorable, so cute, and girls are so smart, right? In the beginning. Anyway, so that's what I want to say about Charlie Rose, man. I guess it's maybe to be expected, or I guess it's maybe not unexpected that Charlie Rose would pop out. Yeah, definitely hashtag ISB, definitely. But I think this is not going to end. There's just, I think women now are really, not really incentivized, but let's say free, or maybe more open to just come on out and let loose, let people know what's been going on. So what's happened to them, if something has happened to them regarding any kind of harassment or whatnot. And I think there's definitely going to be more such allegations coming out in the upcoming weeks and maybe upcoming months. So keep alert for that. But I think, I got to take everything with a grain of salt, because like if something's from 40 years ago and it was a different time, it was a different era, I'm not excusing the behavior, but the stuff that Moore's accused of, it just seems like flirting stuff, dating stuff, or attempting to date stuff. You know what I mean? There was nothing about sexual. He wasn't trying to do anything. The one woman said that I thought he was going to rape me. And I don't even know how credible that woman is. You know what I mean? I really don't know how credible her story is. Is it possible? Certainly is possible from 40 years ago. But he didn't rape her. He didn't even try to rape her. I guess she said he took off her shirt. But look, let's make it out in the car. What was she doing in the car with him? Okay, look, I'm not trying to blame the woman, but you know what I'm saying. It's the women. You got to just be strong about, and just simply reject a guy in the right way. Thank you, I'm flattered, but I'm seeing somebody. Or thank you, I'm really flattered, but I'm not interested. Okay, I hope you understand that. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm really not interested. Just keep it like that. Okay? I mean, it's real simple. And don't back down if you're really not interested. Or, that's really the way to go. You could always go back if, I guess, you really wanted to, but it's better to shut the door and don't leave it open for any other issue. So this has been live. It's been unscripted. Yeah, when Gloria Aldrich is involved, is very suspect. Or her daughter, Lisa Bloom, I think is her name. That's Gloria Allright's daughter, also involved in the same scam business. Same scam business. And when they're out there, you should be suspect. Be suspicious. Be definitely suspicious of the accusations. Yeah, with Franken, we got photographs of Al Franken. Why hasn't he resigned? And why has there been really there's been very little condemnation from the same people who are condemning senatorial candidate Roy Moore of Alabama. I really hope that the people of Alabama go out and vote for him to put this crap to rest and just break the back of this leftist globalist cabal that is trying to destroy our country, you know, one Senate seat at a time, right? We really got to do that. So have a great day, everybody. If you're in the U.S., it's coming up on 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's coming up on 3 o'clock here Central European Time. I'm Holy Joe Rock and Roll, reminding you to always make it happen for the captain, because you're the captain. Peace.